We welcome you back to another week. I am your captain for this containment breach, the strange Gary.
I'm everybody's favorite porn ninja,
Four-leaf dozer.
The Black Iron Bennett.
the short shit.
Sticking in Senate.
And welcome to the Gary's Vault. Excuse the coughing for tonight, guys. But what you can do to help me out and make me feel a lot better, you can support the people that support us. So if you want any of the music you hear tonight, go look up Tanuki Suit, Jubyphonic, Sea Hero, and Team Headkick on their respective YouTube channels and iTunes, not to mention Bandcamp.com.
Oh, so everybody, let's give Gary a very small round of applause.
I did that shit sick, you dicks.
Yeah, you didn't fuck up. You didn't forget one this time.
We are forgetting someone, though. Sticky Nate Stinnett isn't here tonight. He and his girl are off watching the UK and U of L game, which is already over. UK won. Fuck them.
Oh. You know, Gary?
My dad's pissed.
My dad's pissed.
Yeah.
My respect for you and Felicia has gone down a little bit.
Why, you're a UK fan?
I bleed blue. I bled blue for years.
You want to test
You wanna
that
test
shit?
that? Shut the fuck
up!
I'm leaving! I'm leaving! They're possessed! They're possessed!
Gary, for the last time, stop being me.
Anyway, guys, we hope you all had a good Christmas. Got everything you wanted. But you know what? The Grinch came this year. Because all you little kiddies that got to get your new Call of Duties, yo, and Raptor, I'm going to go play multiplayer. Xbox Live is down. Well, I got a second copy on PlayStation. PlayStation Network is down. Dad?
What about computer?
But you know, you want to
Satan?
No, Dad's on the computer.
Not even the porn
PC
ninja.
Master Race, son, get good.
I didn't raise no peasant, son.
Even the porn ninja himself and all of his techniques could not solve that problem.
You couldn't solve your Skyrim problem either.
I can turn around and clean gunk out of Kayla, but I cannot solve that problem.
All right, well, we're going to move on to that so we can talk about it a little bit. Kayla, why don't you ring us up here?
The weekly patch.
Yes, I left the echo on purpose. It was a little more like the Great Oz.
Saucy.
Yeah. Anyway, weekly patch brought to you by fuck ups. Because we can't get that shit right day one.
That's everything.
Not much happened this week other than the DDoS attacks on Xbox Live and PlayStation Network. Xbox Live is up. PSN still having shortages. They said they should have it settled out at the most in 2 days.
It's only down for 5 days. You know, it's a big fucking deal.
Well, usually Sony's pretty good at making recompense for this kind of shit.
True.
Yeah. It was mentioned normally when they go down, it's like, here's a free game.
Well,
Either
when
free
they
game
went
or they give
down
you free
for-
PlayStation Plus time.
They went down for like 3 months, and they gave away like a bunch of free
They gave
shit.
away 2 games, a free theme, and like some sort of indie game. Like I got Little Big Planet 2 for free.
Yeah.
Now, I don't want to derail this too much. I was thinking today. I know, that's amazing, I think.
Really? Because what you were growing in the teapot fucking scared me.
I thought you were just drawing crown most of the
No,
time.
shut the fuck up.
Is that...
I came into the kitchen and I'm like, I'm gonna go fix me some fucking Lady Grey tea because I feel like shit. If you can't hear that, because I'm sure it sounds like duty. So I'm like, I'm gonna pour me some Lady Grey tea and make my throat feel better. I go to the teapot and there's this very rosy, phallic-looking thing staring at me in the teapot. There's tea in the teapot, but so is this thing. So.
It's supposed to create a super tea.
Is that why Gary and Felicia are sick? Did you make Ebola?
No, wait,
I was sick before the tea.
No, wait,
I don't want to get sicker.
If what I have thought of is correct,
It's probably not.
I mean, what you rot.
then you'll start glowing in a couple days.
Why?
Let me
Is
explain.
it going to turn into a fucking glowing one from Fallout?
No, you'll
Stop thinking what I'm thinking.
You'll start glowing for a couple days. You'll slip into a coma for about 3 weeks, and when you wake up, well,
You haven't gotten that far yet,
I
have you?
haven't quite gotten that far yet.
I can't be in a coma
we
for 3
told
weeks. I
you.
gotta beat Far Cry 4.
Throwing a bunch of antifreeze and other things you find out in the hallways into a teapot does not constitute a miracle cure.
To be fair, I think he does better science than half of the scientists down here. Fuck.
Hey, you know why? Because magic.
Well, maybe because you're also not containing statues that'll sneak up on me and break my neck.
But anyway, what I was going to say, because...
You haven't seen that one yet? They made a game on it. Anyway, we'll move on. We'll actually get to some stuff that's quasi-important, unlike statues who break necks.
Which is just scary.
The weekly patch, nothing much there, but because of the downtime on both Xbox Live and PlayStation Network, Rockstar confirmed that the holiday events for every
Pretty
system
much every game
is going to be continued on.
Yeah, every game that had a holiday event going on is going that's on console or whatever is going to be extended. Also, PSN and Xbox aren't the only things that are down.
No, I know.
EA is having server troubles as well. Just EA games in general.
If you guys haven't heard
Battlefield 4
about it
server's
yet,
been down.
it's like Team Lizard or whatever their name is.
Lizard Squad.
Lizard Squad.
Don't DDoS us, bitch.
I saw something because as to why they did it, and if it is true, and I'm talking like an if the size of Texas, because
Big fucking if, and an angry one, a gun-toting angry if.
But
Yeah.
the reason they did it was because what I read, and it's probably bullshit. Is like the spirit of Christmas is dead. So by downing the services, they're forcing people to spend time. They're forcing people to spend time with their families.
I don't
Believe that.
I don't either.
I think it's just dicks being dicks.
No, because they did it before.
Yeah.
And not to mention, it's bad when Anonymous has declared war on you.
Yeah.
That's when you are an ultimate dick.
Yeah, that's when you've reached fucking
Don't say
dick
Hitler.
levels.
Don't say Hitler, because every person that's bad is compared to exactly to Hitler.
No, that's when
I was going to say Ann Coulter, but...
And
That too.
And it's bad when
That's when you reach Dick Mangina level.
Dude, Ann Coulter said that, after we nuked Japan, they became obedient little puppies.
She also, speaking of Ann Coulter,
We're off track a little bit, but it's okay.
but this is funny in a very horrible way, Cards Against Humanity level horrible way. She was having some sort of summit at some college, and one of the students there was a Muslim. It was a female, and she goes, and she stands up and she asks Ann Coulter. She was like, "You once said that all Muslims should just go back to their home country if they want to practice Sharia law. No. Well, you said they should go back on flying carpets. What do I do if I don't have a flying carpet, Miss Ann Coulter?" Being sarcastic.
Yeah.
And without missing a beat and being the cunt that Ann Coulter is, immediately just went, "Oh, get a camel."
Ann Coulter is like that one dude.
She's a fucking cunt.
She's like that one dude that did the VGAs, like that one guy that writes for The Onion.
Is he right for The Onion?
Yeah, that's why he's such a douche.
Oh, well, The Onion's funny, though.
The Onion's funny, but he's still a dickbag.
He is, yeah.
I don't really say it's his fault. His whole acting persona is dickbag. You hire him when you need a dickbag.
Yeah.
And for some reason they were like,
I would be hired to be.
Let's put him on the VGAs. I'm like, why would you do that?
Because they ran out of money.
Probably. He's expensive though. He's not that cheap.
Hire us.
Oh, I'll fuck up your show if that's what you want. You can pay me. I'll throw poop on the wall. That'll get people out of there.
What am I, a monkey?
Can you just shit on command, Gary?
What the fuck?
I can.
If you can shit on command, you have more powers than fucking Shaft.
So we've done a little thinking, guys. It is the final episode. Yeah, a little bit. I did. Maybe not you. It is the final Gary's Vault of the year.
Gary, scratching your chin and taking a shit isn't thinking.
I'm fucked then. Okay, I did a thought.
Well, I mean, do you feel bold enough to think? I mean, that won't give you a headache, Will. I mean, you know what happened the last time you thought. I wound up as a host.
All I remember is sirens. That was some self-referential humor that made me hurt.
God. Damn.
Fucking slow clap into an aggressive one.
God damn. Anyway.
Anyway, back on track. This is the final Gary's
See
Vault
what
for
you
the
all
year.
do to me.
This is the final Gary's Vault for the year of 2014. Another year of shitty PR stunts and amazing games has graced us. So, at this point in time, we're going to go down our lists.
Who's going first?
I'll start and we'll just go clockwise if that's alright. Alright, now, as far as we're aware, we haven't really told each other our lists to a degree. We haven't said everything.
And I don't have a full list.
That's fine.
I'll wing it.
Alright, what do you guys want me to start with? Best or worst?
Do your best.
Do your best.
Alright.
I'd say best first, worst second.
It's top 5 best, top 5 worst, and there's a couple categories in between.
If you have one.
And these don't file under any platform specifically, even though most of them are PS4 to be honest, but they're multi-platform for the most part. Number 5 on the best, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. I put it at number 5 if only because it's an amazing game. It's doing a little bit of stuff different, but it hasn't quite broken the mold yet.
What?
It's not quite the same game as last year, which is what we've been getting over and over again with
For
COD.
like 5 years.
But it's not. It's still not up there like it used to be. It's
It
still
wasn't
not
groundbreaking, but it was different.
It was different and it was fun. That was
Yeah.
the big thing, is that it was really fun.
Also, might be what it needs to. Maybe this will be enough for the next Call of Duty to actually be potentially.
Well, the thing
groundbreaking.
is, at this point, this means that CODs have to start adapting, because if Sledgehammer's going to change the role every single year they do it, then we're going to need they're going to need to keep their game up. But I mostly picked it because I spent a bunch of time playing it. I don't regret the time I spent playing it. The multiplayer's fucking awesome. Exo Survival's awesome. The campaign was good. It was better than fucking Ghost. What'd you do?
Nothing yet.
It was oh god.
But I gotta say,
I'm holding one
since
too.
since probably like
Doorknob.
I didn't fart.
I thought you did.
No.
You guys got any opinions on that as a five
No,
spot?
that's pretty accurate.
It makes sense.
But
and it
I
fits.
would wholeheartedly agree with that.
All right.
I didn't do anything yet.
But I know what to say. It's probably the most. I just say one of the most well done and just well planned out campaigns since like COD 4 World at War.
There needs to be 2 doors shut.
I would say since Advanced Warfare, since the last good campaign to me anyway was Black Ops 1.
Yeah.
Because Modern Warfare 3 was a bunch of retconning that no one ever asked for. Like Yuri being there and all that stuff. And I'm like, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter.
It's arbitrary.
It was arbitrary, yeah. 'Cause in Modern Warfare 3, like, it's revealed that Yuri was beside Makarov the entire time. And it's like, this really doesn't make a difference. I mean, it makes a difference that Makarov was the one that blew up the nuke in COD 4, but I don't know. It just phased me wrong. Noog's in the bathroom, but I'll go ahead and I'll continue. Number 4, Evil Within. It's very clear why Evil Within is at my fucking 4 spot. It is
fun. It's psychotic.
It is my favorite survival horror game this year. Well, in the last 3 years, maybe longer, because it takes what made Resident Evil 4 good, and then kind of like pushes it beyond. Like it gives it
more of a modern gaming feel.
Kind of.
So I felt like.
And then it plays with you because, we're all used to fucking headshots kill something. Unless you're playing Dead Space, in which case you dismember them. But every single time you think about pulling the trigger in Evil Within, you're not afraid because the enemy's about to hack you in the face. You're afraid you're going to miss. It's fear on your own personal level.
And then every time you kill one, you have that fear that he might get back up.
Exactly, because most of the enemies in Evil Within can rise from the grave. But you can burn them, but you only get limited matches. So you have to start wrangling them together and then burn them all together so you can... It's this 0.001% efficiency that you use to keep yourself alive. Because if you don't...
Inventory management.
Exactly. If you don't manage your inventory properly and you don't... If you aren't a Scrooge with your inventory, you're going to end up dead in like the 3rd chapter. Because the melee attacks in the game are fucking pathetic. They are... It's not like Resident Evil 4 where like Leon could just go through kicking every Ganado in the face. And just
What did CV?
Huh?
That was I always remember that this was the Illuminati from the 4th chapter in the castle. Was that the 3rd chapter?
I think it's the 4th.
Yeah, I think so.
Because, they all have maces and shit.
3rd.
Yeah, that's
3rd?
right.
3rd chapter. 1st chapter is just outside the town. 2nd chapter is inside the town because you meet the doctor. 3rd chapter is in the castle because at the end of the 3rd chapter you turn
You're right,
around
because
and
then the
kill-
4th chapter is... The 4th chapter is farther into the castle.
Yeah, it's the lab.
5th chapter is the island.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. It's been a while.
Fucking Iron Maidens and Regenerators.
But the only problem, and the reason Evil Within's farther down the list, it doesn't have super good replay value. The unlockable weapons you get are okay, but it's not like in Resident Evil 4 where like you had Operation Ada and separate ways and then Mercenaries mode.
And it's not like where you could get weapons that would totally or things that would totally change.
Well, I mean, there is an
game.
automatic rifle and there's stuff like that, but the thing is, it just kind of serves to make the game easier.
Well, what I meant
for no
is
reason.
like in comparison, Resident Evil 4.
The Infinite Rocket Launcher?
Well, no, I was more meaning what's her face? Ashley's suit of armor.
Oop.
Sorry.
I will say
that totally changed the way that you played the game because you didn't have to worry about her consistently getting taken or.
there The game does have one of the hardest difficulty modes since Dante Must Die from fucking Devil May Cry 4 or 3, which is Akuma mode.
Also, with the armor from Resident Evil 4, did it just prevent her from being taken, or did it also make her impervious to damage?
It makes her basically invincible.
Yeah.
But Akuma mode in Evil Within, one hit, you're dead. Everything else takes normal damage. In fact, it takes more damage.
Is it harder than 1887 mode?
Yes.
Because in 1887 mode, you die, you get start over.
Oh wait, 1887. That's
Bioshock Infinite.
You mean 1999?
1999. My bad.
Yeah. No, you don't. 1999 mode. You just it's just super hard.
Chris
no, you don't start
die,
over.
You start over.
No, you don't start over. I don't know if that's as hard as like Dead Space 2 and 3, where you only get 3 saves the entire fucking game, and if you die, you go back to one of those saves. Let's see. I don't want to keep.
I don't know. That depends because Metal Gear Solid on the hardest difficulty, I would only save like twice.
Well, that's trying to get Big Boss mode. Big Boss rating is super hard to get. I'm trying to wait for Milky to get out of the fucking bathroom so I wouldn't miss everything. What did you guys... I mean, I know none of you really played Evil Within.
I played it.
Did you?
From what I saw, I have to say, it reminded me a lot of Hostel.
Because of its gore.
It's gore. It's not just the gore, but the feel. The whole, you're stuck and you're going to get slaughtered completely. And I'm talking pulled limb from limb, salt rubbed in.
I will say that it has some of the goriest death animation since Dead Space.
Well, let me ask you this, Gary. Since Evil Within's been out long enough, I guess now, and I haven't played it, and I don't know when or if I ever will. But what's the basic plot of Evil Within?
It's
the
a
plot.
pretty simple
The plot
story.
of Evil Within is you are called out to a hospital.
I know that much.
Where you are kidnapped. And the whole game is essentially taking place inside of this machine. You're all in this machine hooked up to this guy named Ruvik's brain because they've kept his brain alive. You're all hooked up to these machines Ruvik's trying to kill you, essentially. I don't remember exactly why I think he needs it because he needs a body to assimilate, and only certain ones will work. But when you're in his world, he creates things for you to fight, which are usually made of his own twisted, like his imagination and his anger and his rage. For example, one of the bosses is his dead sister. His sister who was burned alive in a fire, so her weakness is fire when you fight her in a boss fight. Like, she's wounded by normal weapons, but if you hit her with fire, it does, like, double damage or something.
The question that I also kind of need to ask is exactly, what's his deal? Like, does he actually have supernatural power? Or
Ruvik? No.
No, you're just in his head.
No, he doesn't. Yeah, it's all just in his own head.
And since you're in
the main enemy of the game, the Keeper, the guy with the safe on his head, that's Ruvik's memory of whenever his secrets were stolen by a colleague of his. So now, in his imagination, his safe has a big ass butcher body and a hammer, and kills anybody that tries to take secrets from it, and it can never die.
It's kind of like a dream, like how you can control your own dreams. If you can make what you want to happen, that's what he can do.
It was a really good game, man. I wouldn't say it's underrated. It did pretty well, but now the big reason it's so far down the list at 4, even though I love it so much, is the ending is
Are you dead?
It's expectable too.
Well, no, it's expected. Huh?
It was it didn't see
to unhook the chain and all that. Is because the ending is basically a quick time event. It's cool looking, but it's a quick time event. And I hate that about horror games.
Press X to not die.
Yeah, if it's a quick time event for your final battle in a horror game, you've done something wrong.
Isn't that like the thing that didn't God of War start the press X not die? But
God of War still has good boss fights.
Yeah, very good boss fights.
All right,
Are we still on your list?
Yeah. Well, I wanted to wait for you. 4 was Evil Within. 3, Infamous Second Son. I fucking adored Infamous Second Son. I wouldn't say it's breaking the mold, but it wasn't afraid to break away from what Infamous was already doing. Delson's his own character. He's a good character.
Very good character.
Mostly because he's voiced by Troy Baker. His brother's believable. The family's believable. Fetch is one of the best sidekicks since I wouldn't say since Elizabeth, but she's well acted. Is what I'm trying to say. The gameplay is fun. I hate the fact that you get the concrete power so late though, because you don't really have much to use it on. The first PS4 game I ever 100%ed. I have the platinum trophy for Infamous Second Son. But it was a beautiful game. I loved it from start to finish, clearly. Played through it at least 3 times to get every ending, and 100%ed it. Even did it on hard mode, which wasn't really that hard. What did you guys think about it?
Never played it.
I didn't get to play it.
It was very fun. I liked it. It still had its same feel as the rest of the games, which made it so enjoyable because the game was really fun. But the new powers, the new way it played was, I don't know. I love the story of the game. I've always liked Infamous, and I mean, I definitely would say it's definitely worth 3 spot.
The reason it's a little farther down on 3, even though it's the only game I've ever platinumed on PS4, enemy variety. Not really much of it. It kind of feels like you're killing the same. They're fun to kill, but it's not enough. Number 2 spot, GTA Next Gen. Everything I expected and more. Game's beautiful. They added so much fucking foliage. The first person mode is brutal, to say the least. I've never felt bad about
It's
shiving
gimmicky,
someone.
but it's not a bad gimmick.
And you think of things like we were thinking of things earlier that you haven't done yet.
In first person, yeah.
Like puking.
Yeah, puking in first person. It's an immersion thing. And, the online works better. The online works better in next gen than it did last gen. Everything just looks crisper and feels better.
I really think GTA should have waited almost to be next gen.
Maybe
bringing it out. Because it was a good game on last gen, but it shines on next gen.
And even better, the fact that they were like, we're going to let you transfer your characters over.
Mm-hmm.
That was some extra effort that they didn't even need to go through. But
I like the way they did it too, the whole jail thing.
Yeah, they could have shafted you. They could have shafted you and just been like, sorry, this is how it's going to go.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, if you weren't able to transfer your character, I probably wouldn't have gotten GTA 5 for the PS4.
If I couldn't have transferred my character over, I wouldn't have bought it.
Yeah, it would have been a hard sell.
I mean, mine wasn't as. Well, actually, I guess it would be pretty high, but I just got level 90 after when I got it this week.
See, I was over 120, so
yeah, that's kind of big.
Yeah.
But I think the reason for it being at the 2 spot, people are probably wondering why the fuck it's not the 1 spot. There's a very good reason for that. But the only reason it's lower than 2 is because it's an experience I played before, and I still haven't beaten it again, mostly because as much as I like GTA 5, I don't think its story is super replayable.
Mm-hmm. I probably won't ever beat the story again. I kind of hate not having the trophies for it, but
yeah, I think we mostly got it for just the multiplayer. But number 1 spot is a game I was glad to play through again twice. Last of Us Remastered. There's a very good reason Last of Us Remastered is on my first spot. It is the only game where it's one of the only games where I beat the game and immediately said, I want to beat that fucking game on hard mode. And then I want to play the DLC. And then I want to play the multiplayer. And then I want to go back and play the story again and collect everything. The game, if you don't know that it's a shining fucking gem yet, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
On top of all the DLC they've been adding, I'm not a fan of the the penny pinching dollar increment thing. I'd rather just have a pack that I could buy.
Yeah.
And I know there are some like that, but I still think, for executions, you should just give it to us for free. But on the other side, they've given us all the maps for free because it pays for the maps from people buying the microtransactions. Mm-hmm. Unlike COD, where the microtransactions cost money and then the maps cost $15.
Yeah.
I think I could deal with microtransactions a bit more if the maps were free.
Yeah. Well, that's the reason I don't like quickly about microtransactions. That's the reason I don't dog on GTA's cash card system.
It doesn't hurt the game.
It doesn't hurt the game, and that's the reason every DLC we've gotten has been free.
Well, he can't buy levels with it.
No, and half the guns and really really cool stuff take a certain level to get anyway.
Yeah,
so
and by then you'll have that much money anyway.
Exactly.
It's just I think it's just kind of a way to ring in suckers, honestly.
It's a way for the people that are just casual, want to play but want to have stuff at the same time.
Yeah, but to a degree you can't do that because you still need to reach the level cap.
Yeah,
but the thing is, you can still get stuff with the money. There are some things that you can just get.
But I know it's kind of a cop out, but a remastering being my game of the year.
No, not necessarily.
If it was the game, if it was last year's game of the year for you, and they remastered it, it should be game of the year this year for you because they basically took what was already good and made it better. And photo mode. Oh my god, photo mode made a huge difference because I felt like every time I came up to an important scene, I was like, I want to take a perfect fucking picture of this.
Photo mode, and me and you can say this, we played it on PS3. Like the 60 frames made it feel so much better. Oh my god, yeah. The 60 frames literally made the game
feel so much better, and the aiming was
because
so
me
much
and you
smoother.
played it both on PS3.
All right, I'm gonna move on to my worst with my set mid category most disappointing game of the year, Destiny. Oh my god, I can't put it on the worst list because it's not a bad game, but
and Moki's over here twitching.
Technically, it's not a bad game, like on the technical, actual
that's what I'm saying.
aspect. But it is just it rubs everyone the wrong way, except for a few people.
Yeah, it's not exactly what I would have thought. All right. Well, I think we all know.
Shuddered.
I know. Everyone knows why Destiny's disappointing.
Yeah, everyone here knows why.
Back on the treadmill.
I know
because that's all it is. Because we were looking through our videos of uploads.
That's all the game is the treadmill.
And like I only have one video or two videos of Destiny, which are both PvP. And I'm like, I wonder why I didn't upload anything on the story. Oh wait, because all of it was a grind. Nothing interesting happens. Even in the DLC, nothing interesting happens.
The DLC actually punishes you if you haven't already reached level 30.
Exactly.
The thing is, though, it doesn't actually bother me that it's like that. It really doesn't.
I mean,
because you're an MMO player.
Because you enjoy the grind.
Honestly, I think the best thing...
Here's the thing. And I'm not trying to contradict. I actually hate the grind. I really do, but Destiny just doesn't bother me. I really just...
See, I mean, there's some people that can get over it, and I just can't. Because whenever I play Guild Wars, I know I'm going to be grinding a little bit, and I'm okay with that. But the difference is, in Guild Wars, I know eventually I'll get something good. In Destiny, the drop rate is so low and so against you for the most part that...
Not Matt. Matt's a lucky motherfucker in Destiny.
All right, well...
You can't deny that one.
I'm not going to.
Before we go over my worst game list, I'm going to go over my honorable mentions. Stuff that didn't quite make the best 5, but games I still really enjoyed. Wolfenstein. I fucking loved Wolfenstein. I played through it twice. Didn't really touch it after that, but it was a good game. Machine Games, if you're ever listening, make the next one with multiplayer. Because I would love to see that shit.
It'd be really weird.
You put a Nazi on the moon.
Fuck you, moon. That game was full of fucking character. And can I just say, I was kind of happy to shoot Nazis again.
Yeah,
I think we're all happy to shoot Nazis
instead of Russians or terrorists.
You saying something?
All right, next.
You saying something?
Next on the honorable mentions, EA UFC. Game was fucking super good. Just didn't have enough content. I played through a career like twice, and every now and again I'll jump on and do a singles fight. But there's not enough there to do outside of online fighting that I really want to stick with. I kind of wish there was a better career mode or a longer one or a more intricate one where I could do like photo shoots or gym time.
An
or
actual
like that.
career, like where you went into the details. And
something like Fight Night's career.
The deets.
Yeah, like Fight Night's career. Which we need to do Fight Night, guys, if you're listening.
They're probably going to bring one out.
Another honorable mention, Dragon Age Inquisition. Love the game. Fucking love it, but you really got to dedicate some time to it to get anywhere. It's not even grindy. It's just that there's so much to do and so much to see.
I heard Yahtzee say something about it. Like in most games, in most RPGs, you can just power through the story.
That's not,
And then, as he put it, you can faff about with the extra shit after you're done.
Yeah.
In this, you have to do a certain amount of faffing about before you can reach the next level to play the story.
Yeah, because you can go to the next story if you want to get your shit pushed in.
Yeah, exactly.
And like
the fucking Envy Demon almost beat the living shit out of me.
Well, I gotta say, I didn't think so as I played it on normal, but your level
does matter
because it's been long enough. But in the mission,
I need to borrow it from someone.
In the quest where you basically lose Haven, you leave Haven.
Yeah,
I did it at level 7. Got my shit pushed in. Went back at level 8, and I pretty much just one level went from me getting my ass kicked to me kicking their ass.
Well, here's how the difference between somebody that's just powering through the game. They're like level 8. They're just taking weapons that they've picked up off the ground. They're gonna have a way harder time if you're not collecting because no shit. The crafting is important. If you're not crafting your weapons, you're getting your ass kicked. Because I have a fucking mace that is the strongest mace in the game so far, and I've kicked the shit out of bosses, and I'm like, this mace is still better. You open that door, by the way. It's kind of warm.
And I will say too, though. I mean, I know it's title, but dragons really are fucking hard.
Oh yeah,
they're not Skyrim dragons.
No, I mean because
I
mean I'm level.
Not all Skyrim dragons were easy.
I'm level
compared to Dragon Age.
I'm level 17, and I've gone back to one of the earlier levels and fought a dragon.
What's the level cap?
20.
20? Oh, okay, wow.
And I mean, I've gone to level. I'm at level 17 now, and I went back to one of the first dragons that you can encounter, and I got my shit pushed in. And I mean, this was and I have like the best crafted gear for my party that I can make right now.
All right, my last honorable mention is Titanfall because I love the idea and I love the kind of really cool shit that it brought to the table, but the huge lack of content, the makeshift story mode, if you can even call it that, the downright fucking thievery that was it being a $60 game. Because nobody talks about Titanfall anymore because it's a kick-ass game. It's good, but there's just not enough to do.
Kind of like ODST was.
Yeah. Well, yeah, basically, yeah, because ODST was an expansion pack they sold for $60. Titanfall is a good game, don't get me wrong. It's just, when Titanfall 2 comes around, I want to see a real campaign, I want to see more unlocks in the multiplayer, and I want to see more customization. I want to be able to paint my fucking Atlas.
And I can't say this much. Out of all the mecha games we've ever gotten, this is one of the better ones. It's just not enough.
Yeah, it's not enough, because when you're comparing it to the content that other games bring, like Dragon Age or Call of Duty, then you're just not bringing your game.
Let me turn around and put it this way. Comparing it to another mecha game, one of the best ones that I can think of, you have to go all the way back to the Dreamcast, and it's Gundam Side Story 007.
I wouldn't really call it a mecha game, though, because you really don't feel like you're in a mecha.
No, you just feel like
you're in a bigger version of yourself.
Which is the point, because the whole idea is
it's mainly self-referential.
Well, no, the catchphrase for the game was like man and machine, because the idea is that
it doesn't feel like a mecha.
I don't think it's supposed to, though. I think it's supposed to feel like an extension of yourself.
Yeah.
Which is what
I get that. It would have been nice to have more.
To me,
like,
sorry.
Go ahead.
But to me, the best mech game I've ever played will always be Chrome Hounds.
Chrome Hounds was good.
Mine was always one of the original Army Corps.
Yeah. I'm going to get through my worst list so that we can move around, because we've got like 3 more to get through. Yeah. Starting at number 5, and this is one, it's going to be a little bit of a shocker, but Civ Beyond Earth. I like Civ Beyond Earth. That's why it's at 5, but it really is just window dressing. Like after
expansion kind
of. After playing it more, it really is just window dressing, because all the continents, they're not intriguing, because they're not civilization continents. They're just kind of like people, which George fucking Washington,
Gandhi doesn't launch a nuke at you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It kind of lacks that soul. And then a lot of the tech, as cool as it is, functions much in the same way as old Civ functions do. The game is less handholdy, I'd say, because you can really fuck yourself over and the game won't warn you about it. But I'd say the best thing it did was introduce the fact that it's a tree, it's a tech web instead of a tech tree, so you can just kind of grow into whatever you want. But
yeah,
it's not enough. It's mostly window dressing, and it just lacks soul. That's the problem. Until you get to the later rounds, when you can start controlling animals or get like big ass fucking mechs.
I heard that worm was like the best part of the game.
Siege worm is fun.
Because you don't know where he's going to pop up at.
Now, number 4 is actually a late game change. My number 4 originally was going to be Thief, and then I thought about it. I was like, no, I had a bunch of fun with Thief. I was like, Thief shouldn't be on the worst list.
I forgot about Thief.
I didn't see it existed.
Well, I was like, Thief I had fun
That would be on my worst list now that I think about it.
But it's a last minute change out. Shadow of Mordor. People can fucking say this game is Game of the Year all they want, but after playing Arkham City and Arkham Origin and all that, the Batman games really do it better. Because whenever Talion's swinging a fucking sword at someone at light speed, and it's just kind of like making punching sounds and it's not wounding them at all, but you can only finish him with one of these stupid triangle circles. I expect that from Batman, because Batman is just punching people. He's not trying to kill someone, unless he throws them off a building, but that's neither here nor there, Batman.
He's not.
But isn't it like the Batman games, if you toss someone off a building, like a rope catches them?
No.
So it used to. Or
if you do the ledge takedown, it does that. But if you...
I've seen it. Like, there was a gameplay video I've watched. He, like, is doing, like, a regular fight move, and then, like, he tosses a dude off of, like, this edge of a building.
Maybe.
And then, like, I thought he fell, but the camera panned around, and he had, like, this rope attached.
Well, the only time that doesn't happen is if you're punching the dude, he flies in the air, and he goes over a railing. The game will register that as a takedown move, and he'll just fall to his death.
Yeah.
Right.
But technically, they say he did somehow.
Yeah, so he just has a broken ass.
Broken everything.
He leaves them unconscious, unable to function for the rest of their life, unable to shit correctly,
eating out of a tube.
But he's alive.
I'll take that back. I was getting ready to say something, but Michael.
Well, here's why Shadow of Mordor is on the list though. It copies Batman wholesale. Its fucking side missions are boring. Its story is really not well thought out.
I can agree with that. As a Lord of the Rings fanboy, when you told me you were telling me the story, I about blew a fuse.
Well, because you think about it at the beginning, you're like, that's kind of an interesting thought, but when they wrap it all up, it just doesn't make any fucking sense.
Great concept, poorly executed.
Terrible.
Exactly.
I wish they would do one thing though. The whole Nemesis thing or whatever.
That was the one shining gem. That's why it's only at 4. Is because that is the shining gem. But here's why.
Games need that.
Well, here's why that's also pointless. You start messing around with the Nemesis system, and then you start to see the holes in it. It's pointless. It really is pointless, because after you do the main missions where you're just supposed to mind control all the warlords, they're like, oh, you can fuck around with the Nemesis system. Why? It's pointless. It doesn't really do anything. I can't use it to get my means to an end. Like, even if I controlled everyone in the army, I can't just summon them to fight with me. They're just kind of pointless. I can set up things to happen, but it's all fucking premeditated. It's not random.
Well, it's random when it's happening.
Yeah. It's random when it's random.
The outcome is random, but you setting it up, of course,
Yeah, exactly. Oh, man. Now, moving on to number 3. Oh, Watch Dogs. Fuck me running Watch Dogs was a good concept. A good concept that turned into press square for everything.
Again, like Shadow of Mordor, good concept, poorly executed.
Poor execution, and the difference. Shadow of Mordor wasn't overhyped into fucking oblivion. Watch Dogs had so much hype that it was bleeding out the ears. And then we
I was tired of hearing about it before the game came out.
Yeah. Well, what was
it's
really...
It's like you already played the game before it came out.
Yeah.
Well, let's go down the list. Aiden's a shitty character. The graphics are not as good as they're supposed to be. The story's boring. The missions, for the most part, are boring. The fucking side missions are boring.
The gameplay isn't honestly
the payoffs on all of the side missions are shit.
The driving was fucking awful.
I thought the drive was okay. The camera didn't follow as much as I'd like to. But everything functioned, but everything was half-assed.
Yeah.
I don't think there's much arguing on that one.
It was like a 2D game.
It felt like a grad student project on a really big budget.
Yeah, basically. Also, the whole hacking thing turned the city against them. I can press square. I can press square to raise the bridge.
I can press square to change this traffic light.
Exactly.
Square to put it in.
Number 2.
They should have called it press square, dog.
Number 2 on the worst
terrible,
list.
I'm sorry.
WWE 2K14 on the next gen, and here's why.
2K15?
I said 2K14, didn't I?
Yeah.
2K15. That's what I meant. Can you tell I'm sick?
A little bit.
No,
I've never really played the next gen version, but I refuse to. On 2 different things. Now, I'm not normally the type of guy that's kind of unequal to the opposite gender, because I don't usually think it's that bad.
You're not siding with him.
Exactly. But when the game is already lacking content, like this game is, like it's like EA UFC, it just has no content. The difference is they've been making wrestling games for fucking 20 years. Same
I
fucking
remember
people.
playing wrestling games on PS1. I remember playing WCW.
Exactly. So we know there's content out there. These guys who were making EA UFC were trying to prove a point. They were trying to be like, well, let's put it on this next-gen engine and see what we can do with it. I would call it like a test run for EA UFC.
Mm-hmm.
This is not a test run. This series has been going forever.
Yeah.
Now, what I'm trying to get to is me and my wife usually play these games together on the creative mode, kind of make funny stories or just have fun with it. There is no creative diva. Only on next gen. On last gen, there's creative superstar, creative diva. But on the next gen, it's just like...
Safety.
God damn it. There's only 5 divas to play as, and you can't create one. People have had to resort to...
Are any of them Lita?
No.
Well, then I don't give a fuck.
That's what I said.
Now, here's where it gets even shittier. Most people have had to resort to using the male creator, which is good. The male created character,
you actually can shape one.
You can make it look like a female, but it's like, that's stupid.
Does it sound like a man?
That's stupid.
Does it sound like a man?
He look like a
grunts?
man.
Does it sound like a man?
I don't think they actually have any voices.
Damn.
He look like a man.
Hey.
But purely on a...
Like a chick gets punched and you hear, ugh!
Yeah, purely on a, I'm not giving you money for being an equal piece of shit. Because, like, dude, I hate YouTube comment sections. I was looking up this guy's video on him
They
bitching
make
about
me giggle.
Yeah, I was looking up this guy's video on him talking about it just to make sure it wasn't actually in there. Everyone in the comment section, who fucking cares? Women don't play these games. I'm like, have you seen a fucking WWE arena?
Have you
anytime?
seen me play them?
There was a chick there on her graduation day, the day The Undertaker lost, ironically.
Huh. Fucking happy graduation, bitch.
But it kind of points to, like, I wouldn't say the misogyny of the game industry, but the misogyny of...
YouTube.
No.
People.
Of just... People. Well, I wouldn't even say people. I would say the demographic, like the video game demographic.
The vocal
There's
minority.
definitely a lot of it.
Yeah.
Vocal minority.
I wouldn't say... Yeah, vocal minority. I wouldn't say it's
Yeah.
the developers being misogynistic.
It's definitely
at
a
all.
vocal minority, but that's a problem. Vocal minority.
Thought we heard another crash.
The silent majority usually just doesn't give enough of a fuck.
Yeah. Number 1. Oh, it shouldn't be a surprise. Assassin's Creed Unity. That is my worst game of the fucking year. I have not played a game all year that I just dreaded playing every fucking second of it. Every second I sat down, I was like, I just need to finish this fucking game because if I don't, my brain's going to explode.
And see, I'm not going to disagree with you on that, but there's something weird that I saw the other day. Speaking of which, I was at work and one of my friends was showing me gameplay that he was playing of it, and he actually was running smooth. And I'm like, how are you doing that?
PC?
Mine does.
He said he was playing on Xbox One.
That's why. But Xbox One actually does run smoother than
because
PS4.
Because it was designed for Xbox One and mine. Now here's where I get really pissed off. Because, my friends were like, hey, well, come play the co-op because that'll get your mind off the story.
No, it makes it worse.
No, it made it 10 times. We desynced like 6 times, all on good internet connections. Co-op does not make the game any better. Like,
I've never even played co-op because of that.
The fighting mechanic in it is already choppy enough. You guys remember in Assassin's Creed 1 how every hit that fucking Altair made felt real and gritty?
Then again, the entire system was just counter kill.
Well, no, it may have just been counter kill, but every hit he made felt like it actually connected.
But at least it looked good.
It looked good, and, every hit didn't just phase through somebody.
Yeah.
And Assassin's Creed 2 was the same way. And then after that, I don't know if
4 is pretty good. 4's combat system to me was pretty decent.
It was decent, but I still don't agree. Their collision detection is so shitty.
4's problem was the camera.
Oh, Assassin's Creed Unity's problem is the fucking camera.
Unity, but I'm saying Unity has a billion problems.
Now, the game, let's go down the list. The game launched like shit. The camera's a fucking nuisance. The parkour is some of the worst I've had.
So many bugs.
There's so many bugs. The parkour doesn't function, at all. Because whenever you try and move, what's his name? Fucking Arno. He'll climb up something, he'll do this stupid little backflip and go off in a random direction. And now, you know how, normally you could jump to your death? You kind of risk it and then take some medicine. Or now Arno just won't fucking listen to you. It's like, well, maybe I'm in a desperate fucking situation and I need to get off this roof now. And he's like, nope.
You gotta, let's see, press this. No, you press this. Get off
the roof! I don't have a problem with user error. Because most of the time, I know when it's my fault that I missed a jump or I fucked something up. This Arno does not make any sense. There could be a predetermined free-running line, because they make those anyway, through alleyways and shit. They make predetermined lines just to make the game look good.
Yeah.
You could be going through that predetermined line, and it will fuck up, because Arno's an idiot.
Or someone's
because
in the way.
parkour's an idiot.
Yeah.
Also, the one game where there's 1,000 people in a crowd, and they got rid of the gentle push button.
Yes, they did.
Because in every other game, it was kind of sporadic with the crowds, but you could sneak in, and if you held circle or B, they would just kind of put their hand
if
gently on
you held the
someone's
low profile
shoulder.
button and held X or B or something.
Yeah, he would just kind of gently move his way through the crowd. Arno doesn't have that ability.
No, he just
in a game where there are thousands of people on screen, that execution.
They also took away the pickpocketing.
Yeah,
stupid.
It's lacking features. It's multiplayer. Because really, what does the multiplayer add?
Nothing.
It makes it more chaotic. Considering the combat system's already chaotic enough.
And the connection is just bad.
Yeah, the connection was just bad. It was...
Even with good internet, you're still going to desync. You're still going to be getting hit by invisible people.
I almost feel bad when we're actually buying it and pre-ordering it in the first place.
I feel bad pre-ordering it.
I feel bad because I love this series.
Yeah.
I fucking have a tattoo of it on my leg.
There was so much hope and hype for this.
No, it was ups and downs. Because when we first saw it, we were like, this game looks like shit. Oh, well, we're
at
adding
first
co-op.
I was like, oh great, it's in France and it's landlocked. They got rid of the ship mechanic. Fuck.
Yeah, because that was the only thing I liked about 4.
Yeah, it was being a pirate.
Also, let me just... one more thing about Unity. So, we don't want any more tailing missions, because people hated those. Let's have a bunch of chase missions!
Yeah.
God fucking damn it.
A lot of Unity's missions, like the assassination missions, where you actually killed people,
decent.
Were actually good, because they went back to the AC1 system of do it your fucking self.
Yeah, do it your way. And
find your own way in.
Here's a couple options for you. That was cool.
Oh, there was one mission in AC1. I think it was the second mission. I can never say it right. But the second mission to Port City.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
We had to kill the
Aker.
Yeah,
Aker.
Yeah, I mean, and just I would there was a time when I went through and played AC1 that if I couldn't kill the target without being seen, I would redo the entire mission over again. And I went through the entire game and basically tried to
complete it stealthily.
Yeah, complete. Well, at least the actual assassination stealthily, and actually.
My biggest gripe about Unity, though, which I mean, this is gonna be. I'll just say it on my list because we basically have the same list almost. Fucker, I blame you. I wrote my list first.
Oh yeah, I looked through the paper.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and move on to your list because we're going to take a break here soon. Other honorable mention for a game I haven't beaten, Far Cry 4. I like it. That's about it. I like it.
Well, it was hard for me to make this list because I barely played at least 10 games this year because I didn't buy a lot of the shit that came out because I just wasn't interested in it. And I only have one platform. But for the top, for me, my top 5, like 5 was actually Shadow of Mordor. I didn't like it enough to make it past that, but I still thought it was a solid game.
Like, that's the thing is, I can see people saying that too. Maybe it's just because I played way too much Batman.
It was like, one of those games that weren't great but weren't bad. It was just kind of a solid 7 out of 10.
I think it was maybe just because I played a lot of the Arkham series, which are just vastly superior to me.
Yeah. Well, you're thinking about like the Nemesis system being useless. Yeah, it's useless, but I still had fun with it because I like fucking around with shit.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it was cool. Like, that's the one thing I
like tinkering with in-game mechanics.
Yeah, I can't flaunt the game for that just because it is a cool system. I just it was cool, but I kind of ran out of use for it.
Number 5 was Shadow of Mordor. Number 4 was actually EA UFC because I'm a big MMA fan,
and it was
actually a solid game.
Well, it's because they spent what they lacked in quantity, they made up for in really good quality.
Yeah,
like because those fights look real.
The actual fighting, which is what the game is about, is really good. There might not be that much customization.
It's really good.
When you're actually in the octagon, it feels like you're fighting, which I love, as someone who actually used to do it. Number 3 was Advanced Warfare because it made me like Call of Duty again.
Which I never thought I would hear that. I had to talk you into getting Advanced Warfare.
Yeah.
Like, I had to talk you into it. I was like
2 days before the midnight launch, and I was like, I want to get this game.
And then you realized everybody else was getting it. It was like the second coming of the COD wave.
But Advanced Warfare is the Call of Duty that made me like Call of Duty again. And that's someone who hasn't liked Call of Duty since World at War.
Yeah, well, I thought you liked Black Ops to a degree.
I like Black Ops, but I spent like half the time in it that I spent in World at War or COD 4.
Just some water.
So yeah, that's why it's number 3. Number 2, GTA 5 Remastered. Self-explanatory.
I wonder why that was on my number 2.
Yeah, fucker.
I swear to God, if you say what I think you're about to say. What is it?
Do you want to look?
Oh!
Number 1, Last of Us Remastered.
Which, to be fair, was the first time you'd ever played the game.
Yeah, I didn't get to play it on PS3 because I didn't own a PS3 back then when it came out. So I'm glad I actually got to experience it. And the reason it's number 1 is because there's only one other series in the entirety of video game history that's made me have feelings. No.
Oh, really?
That's made me have feelings. Made me almost cry like a bitch. Mass Effect.
Yeah.
And Last of Us made me do that.
Fucking Krios.
Last of Us made me do that with the relationship between Ellie and Joel.
Baby girl.
Actually,
yeah, but when he said baby girl, I fucking shit a brick.
Actually, my
he still has that brick
from
I used it to hit people with.
Actually, my moment from Mass Effect 3 on a side note, real fast, was Legion.
Does this unit have a soul?
Yeah, and the thing is too is I don't know if you've ever actually told this story, but we may have. Was it third year, our first year at Parakeet Springs? We actually DC Douglas was.
He was there. Yeah, the voice of Legion.
And I actually have a signed copy of Resident Evil 5.
My 4th edition of Dungeons and Dragons is signed.
Yeah, I have a hat signed by him.
The funny thing is, I actually got it's a signed copy of Mass Effect 2. I got it because me and Mike we were talking about like what's the unit count or how many units make up the Geth Collective. And I said one lower than you, and he was like, "I'm sorry to do this, but your douchebag friend said one lower."
Yeah,
your douchebag friend Price is right at you.
Your Price is right at me.
But he signed both my copies of ME2 and ME3.
Yeah, like I said, I have a signed copy of RE5 because he did Wesker.
Yeah, he also gave me a few free copies, and I got. And I was
I didn't have RE5 before that, and I'm never gonna play it. I didn't play that disc because I'm too scared.
Yeah, RE5 is a good game though.
Go ahead on here. What you got?
The worst. Two of these are going to be surprising because one isn't even technically out yet, but there's a reason why it's on the list. Mike knows why. Number 5, though, Reaper of Souls Console Edition.
Really?
Well, because you couldn't buy just Reaper of Souls.
Touche. It's not.
You had to buy the entire fucking game over again, even if you already owned it.
So what I'm getting at here is it's not a gameplay thing. It's a
business thing.
It's a business thing. I agree with that
because I bought Diablo 3 on console when it first launched.
I think that's why the Sting for me was a lot less painful because I
didn't buy it.
I didn't buy it on console. I had it on PC.
Yeah, I had it on PC as well, but my PC couldn't run it because I have a piece of shit.
But I never bought it on console.
Because my good PC got fucking taken away from me.
By the law.
By the law, because I bought a fucking laptop that was stolen and didn't know it from a computer shop.
Yeah, and the guy wouldn't refund your money directly.
No, he'd give me in-store credit, but he wouldn't refund my fucking money.
Which is bullshit.
Anyway, that's another story for another day. That's why, though, Reaper of Souls Console Edition. I have it in parentheses next to it, Console Edition.
Yeah.
Because you could not buy Reaper of Souls expansion by itself.
It was just Blizzard being money-hungry douchebags.
Yeah, you had to buy the entire game over again.
I need to get that back from Taylor. So play it.
Number 4, Watch Dogs.
One off mine.
Self-explanatory.
Because mine was Shadow of Mordor right there, so yeah, one off.
Self-explanatory. We've gone over why Watch Dogs sucks so much I don't even want to talk about it anymore. So let's move on. 3, Destiny.
Yeah, you actually put it on the worst list.
Yeah. It ain't gonna be on the fucking best. What are you,
I knew it wouldn't be on the best. Fuck.
Treadmill. I don't really...
You also have a damn good reason, because your luck was shit.
Yeah. That too, but I don't want to get into that.
I'm sorry.
Fuck you.
Fuck you, Curtis.
Number 2. Unity. Self-explanatory. Yeah, we just went over this.
I don't think we need to go over.
If you weren't here, reverse about 5 minutes if you're not listening live.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're listening to the recorded version, just
take a... And this one's going to be... I might get hit for this one. Because I want the game so bad, but the reason it's on number 1 is the reason why.
Yeah.
PlanetSide 2 for console, because it's not fucking out yet.
And it's not going to be out till January, pretty much. They've already kind of stated that they put
it was supposed to be a PS4 release.
Yeah.
Shut up! It's because they know they've got a monopoly on it. They don't need to worry about it.
I've got that on parentheses too. It's console. Because it's not fucking out yet.
Yeah, it's stupid because they keep trying to say, oh, it's the UI. It's the UI. Don't you fucking bullshit.
And I didn't have a third category because, like I said, I barely played 10 games this year. Shut that door.
Yeah,
for a second.
I'm trying to watch.
I don't care. Fucker.
Right in the pussy.
You know what the sad part is? I was actually gonna have a side category that I took off, but I can put it back in. My favorite co-op game of the year, my favorite co-op experience, believe it or not, was Diablo 3: Reaper of Souls. Me and Felicia played the shit out of that game, and they make it so co-op friendly. No shit, it's like playing Baldur's Gate or Gauntlet all over again. It's
drop in
the couch co-op.
Yeah,
just because
I love couch co-op.
I'll tell you what really gets on your fucking tits, though.
Whenever you have them.
Felicia, whenever you're sitting there, and every fucking time something drops, and it's not quite better than what you got, but your friend is just like, I gotta pause and check that. It might be better. But this happens every fucking 4 seconds.
Because it's Diablo. And
because it's Diablo. You. So Felicia's like, it had 1 green arrow, it might be better. Yeah, but it had 2 fucking 3s. 2 really bad. But it might have magic. Just shut the fuck up. Can we just kill the Reaper of Souls?
No, my whole thing is I want my goddamn wizard hat.
Yeah, that was it. That was it. Remember the level 1 wizard hat you get on the mage? She had to find like one of those things that...
You have a guess.
Who is it? Who is it?
It's going to be about Diablo.
Tokyo Ghoul kicks ass, by the way. If anybody was wondering. What's up?
Hey.
Yeah.
I would call let you know if you have the door open and the cops go by, you have to close it because it sirens overpower your voices.
Oh yeah, we shut the door already. The delay's got that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we've already handled that.
Oh, alright, thank you.
Alright, well we're about to go on break.
Alright,
see ya.
Love you, Chris.
Love you, Chris. In your butt.
Yeah.
A daddy. Alright, yeah, but that was my favorite co-op experience of the year just because it's made for co-op. Diablo alone is no fun.
No, it never is. Diablo 2, Diablo 1, both of them weren't fun.
Taylor, if you're listening, I would love to drive down to your house and get Diablo back.
Beat your ass. No.
All right, well, we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back to Mike and Matt's top 10s of the year. See you guys in a bit.
I'm going to do a little different segment.
All right, we'll see you guys in a bit. What did I drop on the children of South America? Sweet, sweet vengeance.
You can, smell it, but, it's that smell, it's, in the back of your throat. You know what I mean?
I do.
That vomit
taste. All right, so we were going to move. Let's go ahead and get through our top 10 list, and then we'll head on to yours there.
Good.
All right.
This is the short shit's top 10.
The short shit's top 10. I'm gonna start with the top 10 best, like we just said. So I say one of my top ones would definitely be The Evil Within.
So is this number 5?
Number 5.
I didn't even know you played Evil Within.
Yeah, I played Evil Within at Garrett Chris's house for a while.
You with the pumpkin dog? Go ahead.
Did I?
Yes.
We've
already went through it. Explain the main reason why it's a great game. It generally gives you some fear, but it's very entertaining. It's just like what you expect from like the old Resident Evil games, kind of. And every time you play it, it's a new. When you play it, it's a new fear compared to most games that now are just run away and hide.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't like that about new horror games. Is that it really is mostly nowadays just you're unarmed, run away and hide.
Really, Felicia?
Yeah, that's literally all it is, and that's not what's fun to me. I don't like to be a little bitch and hide. It's not fun.
It can be fun and exhilarating, but not usually.
I look so fat.
Shut up. But yeah, I'm in complete agreement. I'm not super big on the new horror. I like inventory management.
I do too.
I heard Alien Isolation was really good.
No, it's not.
No. Like I said, that's what I heard. I never played it.
It's not very good. Let's see. What else can I say too? Number 4 would definitely be Call of Duty. Just like everyone else's reason, like it brought new life to it. It brought some new life to an old game that's been nothing but the same for so long.
Yep.
Number 3 would more than likely. Number 3 would be.
Up there.
I would definitely have to go with probably Infamous. Infamous, just because I love the Infamous games. They're great stories, great gameplay. You are fuck, man. That bad.
Did you swallow perfume?
I did.
I've been there.
But Infamous was a great game. I mean, I loved it. It was fun, good story, good gameplay. I don't know. I just feel the only thing I feel like about the recent Infamous 3 is it's only number 3. I just felt like there wasn't like enough there for me. I don't know. I loved it. I played a lot of it, but at the same time, it just wasn't enough. And then number 2, GTA 5.
Yeah,
it's everyone's number 2 basically. It's a great game. It's more than just a remaster. It's like a brand new game.
They should be on the microwave, honey.
The same fun you had in the original, you have that plus more.
And I actually am slowly. I didn't say this earlier, but I am slowly playing through the story again, and I'm liking it more. Of what
I'm playing through it in first person. Is what I'm doing.
I don't play through it in first. I go into first person at certain times, just when it's like really cinematic for you to do so.
Yeah,
I'm the same way. I don't really play that.
I don't shoot people in first person. Let's say that.
And number 1, we all know the same as everybody. Last of Us. It's the best remastered and by far one of the funnest games you can still play. The story, they say any game that can make a grown man cry is a damn good game.
I thought that's going to be the opposite style.
I don't know, man. I'm a grown man. I cried some pretty dumb shit.
I cried when The Undertaker lost.
I think that one black guy in the crowd.
Just that such like astonished face.
Well, considering it wasn't even supposed to happen.
No, it was.
And I still love this game to the day, but my only complaint about the game now is they have changed so much of the multiplayer to where it's not the same game anymore. It feels like
Last of Us?
Yeah, Last of Us multiplayer. Still love it. Still a fun
that
game.
We also played one match.
Hey guys, look out! It's the Bear Jew. It's Sean.
Sean, yeah.
All right, and for my top 5 worst, my number 5 worst would be Elder Scrolls Online.
Really, that's on your worst.
Top 5.
You defended that game to death.
It's the console, man. It's the console. The fact that it didn't come off console. The fact that it was such a big game that I expected. I'm excited to play the console with my friends.
Mm-hmm.
And then I only got it. I literally only bought it because I got it for cheap.
Right.
And I don't even lie. I love the game. It was fun. I would still play it to this day. But I'm playing it by myself. The only person that has it here is Matt. And Matt's like level 50 on every character.
Cody had it as well.
Cody, but he doesn't play it.
No, Chris needs this.
Oh my god, I need that. I'm not even that big of a Borderlands fan.
No, Chris does need that because...
Yeah, no, don't.
Yeah. I
That's just shit!
I didn't say anything.
Bitch.
I literally didn't even give a hint away.
Bitch
ass motherfucker. Ow. Knock the jolly you shut your mouth.
Speaking of Reaper of Souls, Nephilim.
Fuck that guy.
He's a dick.
And
that rock.
Number 4 of the top worst would definitely be Unity. Fuck.
It's sad that its best honor is that Assassin's Creed Unity is only at 4 on your worst list instead of 2 or 1.
Unity was 4, and because I didn't have a lot of the same problems a lot of people had. Like, I never fell through the map once. I never felt it a map. I didn't have very many at all frame rate drops. You know, I still enjoyed the game, but it wasn't what I expected. You know, it wasn't as enjoyable as I thought it would be.
Then you're a luckier man than I, because
and I really wanted it for the multiplayer, and the multiplayer was
garbage.
Garbage. Yeah, the connection was just complete and total shit. Number 3, Thief.
I can see why people have issue with it, if only because Thief really is a less options than Dishonored.
It is. It's a lot less.
I think if you played Dishonored, you're not gonna like Thief because Dishonored's such a better game.
Dishonored is a way.
I had such hype for Thief because I'm a stealthy kind of guy. I like those kind of games.
Yeah.
And it was like it really wasn't that for me.
I thought it was stealthy.
It was stealthy, but it didn't feel like there was much. I didn't feel like I had much.
I felt like I was sneaking around I felt like I was being a thief. The problem is, after playing Dishonored, I could be a thief. I could be a gun-toting badass.
Exactly.
You know,
had
be
more
a
options.
swordsman.
Yeah, exactly. It's Dishonored 2. Where is it?
I will do.
There was magic, like legitimate magic, blinking.
For number 2 worst game this year. That's tough. I guess I would go with, for me, Borderlands, the pre-sequel.
Really?
Yeah.
That's surprising.
I was very excited for it.
I didn't play it, so...
See, I was very excited for it.
But I thought you and Chris are Borderlands.
I know, exactly. I love Borderlands. Like, I beat 1 at least 6 times.
But to be fair, so was our friend Curtis, and even he was like, no, pre-sequel's a fucking grab for money.
Yeah, I was excited as hell for...
I haven't even played it. Just looking at it and seeing all the reviews.
It's kind of like that scenario where IGN's podcast talked about it. They were like, is there just too much fucking Telltale right now? Every fucking week there's a new Telltale game.
But Tales from the Borderlands is kicking a dead horse.
And, like, I was so excited for it. You know, I love Borderlands with me and Chris both. We played them all together, and I was like, that game just didn't grab me.
Here's how you know they don't know what they have, or they do know what they have, and they're just milking it, is Borderlands 2. Handsome Jack becomes villain of the fucking year.
Handsome Jack is amazing.
Borderlands pre-sequel. Oh, Handsome Jack is in this one. Oh, no.
That sounded bad.
That's Chris.
What's up, buddy?
I know it's way behind, so like, how far was the Borderlands sequel?
Borderlands pre-sequel was number 2 on Mike's worst list.
Well, I'm listening to it right now. I was going to tell. Okay, yeah, that's the delay. I hear it on my podcast. But
Stupid
right,
bitch.
it's fun to play, but like, you know what's going to happen at the end of it. Jack's going to betray you. So you're like, I didn't finish it.
All right, well, we can barely hear you, so we're going to keep going.
All
right. All right. Goodbye, Chris. I love you, man. You're virgin butt.
Virgin?
All right, bye-bye.
Late for that, don't you think?
A little bit.
But, as I was saying, Borderlands 2, Handsome Jack, fucking awesome. Borderlands pre-sequel. Handsome Jack's in this one. Tale from the Borderlands. The main character is aspiring to be the next Handsome Jack. It's that's his whole thing.
I don't know the story of Tales from Borderlands.
And, like, my whole... The way when I saw it, I looked at it like this. It's Borderlands 2... with jump jets, because you can like boost around and kind of jump.
Oxygen level.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's the jump jets. Your oxygen, you can use it to boost around. Yeah, and it's I don't know. It was funny. There were funny bits from what I've seen it played and what I played of it, and it was nothing more than like, and it was a full price game, right?
It was more of an expansion pack.
Yeah, it was a full price game that came out to be more expansion pack.
Borderlands 2. The one thing even I'm about to say, hopefully you all can do, is the pop culture and the funny shit was thrown in there, and a lot of times you didn't catch it, and then you catch it and go like, oh, ha ha ha. And Borderlands, the pre-sequel, it sounds like it was just being thrown at you consistently. Like
hey, that internet thing, you remember it? Is it still funny? Yeah.
Like, everything. Like, there was a part where you call this guy a dick, and he like breaks down, no, and then you go grab a sign and spell out the word dick on the wall, and he tries to fight you.
Really?
Yeah, like...
Really?
Yeah.
I still enjoy playing Borderlands 2. And I've just found a reference that I didn't realize. When you get ready to go to Sanctuary, Corporal Reese. That's Terminator.
Well, I mean, not only that, there's a fucking Dark Souls reference in Borderlands.
Milky just had a click.
Yeah, there's a bunch of Dark Souls references. There's a Toy Story reference. There's
this part where there's a bonfire and a soul next to it.
Yeah.
There's also there's a Bioshock reference. There's a Minecraft reference.
There's a reference to everything.
There's several Minecraft.
I don't think anyone can say Borderlands 2 is a bad game.
No. It's not my cup of tea. Because
exactly.
It's grindy as shit.
It's grindy. You have to be a shoot and loot person. I mean, I can say it's nice to be able to shoot things randomly.
And really, for me, if I'm going to do any kind of looting, I'm going to play Diablo. It's my whole bag. All right, number 1.
Number 1 would be the Legend of Zelda game that came out. I thought it was awful when I
played it. The Hyrule Warriors one? Did you play it?
Yeah. my girlfriend owns a Wii and a Wii U, and she got it, and I wanted to try it out.
I heard it was pretty bad.
I
heard it was Dynasty Warriors.
It was literally
which has been bad
same
for years.
thing over and over and
Well, that's what
over
Dynasty
and
Warriors is.
over and over and over.
The only series in the Dynasty Warriors series that is anywhere near good as Samurai Warriors.
That's not Dynasty Warriors though.
But it's made by Konami.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
Company.
Is it?
The art style was cool. You know, it was nice to see a nice Legend of Zelda game that looked good.
Well, I was going to say it's a knockoff, but better.
Yeah.
I mean, I can definitely say I enjoyed my short time playing it, but literally, I only enjoyed that short time. After I started playing a little bit longer, I was like, "This."
You didn't feel like coming back.
No, I didn't.
No
want to
reason.
come back. No reason.
Right. What were you gonna say, Matt?
I'll say the best one by far is Samurai Warriors 2 Empires.
Well, they just came out with 4.
Yeah,
Or
but
no, not 4. It was. I think I did play 2 back.
Well,
in the
4
day.
just came out on the PS4.
I actually enjoyed Dynasty Warriors Gundam.
I
hated
think more because Gundam really lends itself well to the Dynasty Warriors.
Gundam, it's hack and slash, and you're just slashing through waves of enemies. But even then, it was still a challenge for me, at least in Dynasty Warriors Gundam 2, which was my favorite, to get all the parts for my Gundam. Because you ended up having to fight super strong enemies.
Well, like I said, I think it lends itself better to Gundam. Because let's face it, Gundam is a big, stompy robot anime.
Yeah.
What's Dynasty Warriors about? Power fantasy.
And
Gundam is the stompy robot anime.
I have an honorable mention for like my worst and my best. For the best game of the year, my honorable mention would be Far Cry. Like I like Firecraft 4. I think
Firecraft?
Firecraft 4.
Firecraft. Fucking.
But
you from Chicago?
I like the game. It looks amazing. It looks fun. But to me, it just looks like a reskin of 3 almost. I mean, it does look a little bit better.
That's why it's not on my best.
That's what I'm saying.
It's more of Far Cry 3, but it's good. It's still good.
But more Far Cry 3 isn't necessarily a bad thing.
No, because Far Cry 3 is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
But it's just not good enough to make my top 5 in my opinion. And then the honorable mention for the worst would be Shadow of Mordor.
Yeah.
It
being for all the reasons we've already said.
Yeah, it was good, but it wasn't.
So the only reason
worse.
it was 5 on my good list was because I had trouble finding games to put on any list.
Yeah. All right, Matt, you're up.
Going to the good. My number 5 is Advanced Warfare. Because I mean, like I said, like Milky said,
Our
like
top
you said,
5, they're all kind of the same.
Yeah, we're way too alike.
It's good, but the thing is, as much as they did change,
Hey, Hyrule Warriors was a fucking curveball. I had no idea that one was coming.
Yeah,
it was.
And
I mean,
Elder Scrolls.
it was still.
That's
It
shocking.
was different enough, but the thing is, it's still Call of Duty. It hasn't changed enough to be put any higher.
Exactly. It should be rewarded, but not given the fucking milk bone yet.
And here's the thing, and it's not just because of how Milky looked at it so much, but my number 4 will be Destiny. And it's not just because I've gotten lucky with drops.
yes, it is.
No, seriously, it's not. That's
All right,
not the reason.
yes.
Shut the fuck up. My number 3, might be a bit surprising, is ESO.
You did play a lot of it, so
You play a lot.
That's really surprising to me.
It was
not
good.
to me
Just-
really,
I
because
just-
I
the console
imagine.
version.
I will say right now,
Yeah.
if you're gonna get ESO, I might actually be picking it up here soon because on Steam, no shit, it's $20.
Like I said, the only reason it was on my top 5 worst list, and it was my 5th.
Because you can't play with me.
It's because I can't play with my friends. I can't play with Gary. I can't play with Milky. I can't play with Chris. And it's like, I love it, but it's a game I want to play with a controller. And there was still, the game was fun.
When it does come out, though, I will be playing it.
Yeah, I'm not saying anything bad against the game, because I enjoyed my time with the game, but I enjoyed it by myself.
Yeah.
And that's not fun to me. I don't enjoy playing games by myself. The only game I've ever
Especially
had fun,
in MMO.
the only game I've ever played by myself that I've enjoyed nonstop, Counter-Strike. I've never found a game I can enjoy.
Even then, you're not really
Yeah,
by
see,
yourself.
look, here's what I'm talking about right now. Literally, it's not even just a special deal. It's on sale for $20 just until January 2nd on Steam because of holiday.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to pay monthly, but $20 is a fucking steal. That's not bad.
No, I paid when the game first came out. I paid $39.99 for it, even though it was a $60 game. Because I bought it on G2A.
Exactly. It's still $60. You can get the Imperial Edition right now for $30.
That's what I have pre-ordered.
I wish you would get it because
I'll probably get it tonight because it's $20.
You want to play tonight?
Yeah, I'll be
I mean, it's
I
not
have
going to
to-
install tonight, guys.
Yeah, well, it's pretty much fast. Do you think it wouldn't? But that installer they use is really good. The
All right,
installer
anyway,
they use-
we interrupted Matt.
Yeah.
My number 2 would be Inquisition.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a solid game, and
I wouldn't even say it's a good game.
Yeah,
the only reason it wasn't on my top was just because it's like Dark Souls. It really requires maximum focus.
Well, and like I said, the thing I do like is
That's almost why I don't want to get it.
is that I do kind of, I don't want to say forced because it wasn't really forced, but how you do have to kind of do some side quests to actually progress because you have to get so much power in order to do the main story. So it kind of makes you go through the areas and kind of explore and do side quests. And my number one, which shouldn't come surprises to anybody, but people just something to think about, is Dark Souls 2.
Yeah.
We saw that coming.
Well, here's the reason Dark Souls 2 isn't on my top 10 or my top 5. Because it's not on next gen.
Yeah, I agree.
That's my only gripe, is that I really wish they... I know Bloodborne's coming, but I really wish they would have held off.
My gripe was the fact that the new consoles were out, and they still released it for the only old consoles.
That's what they did for fucking Borderlands.
Yeah.
Pre-sequel.
But that was us.
Well, it's because...
So GTA came out right before the next gen.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I think it's because there had been already so much work put into Dark Souls 2 that going back...
They were like, fuck, we're not going to do this again.
Well, they've already talked about remastering it and putting it out after Bloodborne.
And they already are. Like,
you know why they're doing that? Because Bloodborne won't be coming to Xbox One. Dark Souls 2 will be coming to Xbox One. From Software is about to make bank. Hard. They went from literally like an underdeveloped studio within the last 5 years. Literally, Demon's Souls was released in 2009.
Yeah.
To being one of the...
it was
headlining fucking PlayStation experience with Bloodborne.
Yeah.
Demon's Souls was a sleeper hit.
It was. It really was. And
Dark Souls has really got a lot of their recognition.
My thing was, for me, for Dark Souls, I never wanted to play it. I never decided I was going to play it. So Chris challenged me to beat the game and do it, and I beat it, and it really is fun. Like, it's one of those games where if you have to try. Like, obviously, it's a hard-ass game, but it's fun. I mean,
it's difficulty through
the beginning.
Like I say, if you can get past the learning curve, it's a really fun game.
It's a rewarding game. That's the big thing.
I wish it had real co-op.
What I love most about it though is not the gameplay itself, but the lore and the community that has come off of Dark Souls.
Yeah, because it's a close-knit community. It really is. You don't see much. I think it's because of the whole non-invite thing. You're kind of forced to work with random people majority of the time.
And that is like I say all the time, so much is up to your own interpretation of what you want.
Well, I mean, think about it. This is a community that does not talk to each other. Literally, Dark Souls 2 mostly. Dark Souls 2 communication, you know how you thank somebody? Praise the sun! That's literally it. That was like a call sign. It's the quietest audience with the most outspoken gestures, I suppose. We haven't gone down your worst list, have we?
My worst, number 5, is just so obvious to anybody. It would be Shadow of Mordor. Because, like I said, well, it's not inherently a bad game. It just, like I said, great concept, poorly executed.
Yeah. I feel you.
Communism looks great on paper.
Then number 4 would be Assassin's Creed Unity, only because I reckon.
Why is that not higher?
Well, because the thing is, I've only played. I'm literally at the beginning of Sequence 2. I have not played. No, I take that back. I haven't played it beyond the start of Sequence 3. I just haven't played it because there's
you don't want to.
Yeah, there's just no point.
So I don't think you had to dig quite through the amount of... You were kind of smart. I'm digging through the septic tank. You decided after being ankle deep in shit that you were going to step out.
He put his toe in and was like, "No, I don't want to do this."
Yeah, I can kind of see where you're coming from.
He's not Andy Dufresne.
The only reason I'm still playing is because I just want to get my money worth of beating it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that should never be how a game is.
That's
a
how
game
it was with Destiny.
A game should never be a chore. That's why I don't play it. Everyone's like, "Why don't you play Destiny more? Why don't you play Destiny?" Because when I play Destiny, I complain, and they're like, "Why are you even playing Destiny then?" Because you fucking asked me to.
Because I'm trying to get my money's worth.
And I don't really
Where's my money?
have...
Where's my money?
I don't have that much of a bad list because I can't really remember that much that came out at the start of the year. And Dark Souls 2 is mostly it that I bought up until I got my PS4. And my PS4, it's just been all the major releases since Destiny. So that's...
If we would have had even half the stuff that we promised we were going to have in 2014, our list would be a lot better.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So 2015 is going to be...
2015 better be a good fucking year.
Every game is released for 2015, so they better fucking be.
This was the year of the delay and the year of the 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
Pretty much every game got a 7 out of 10.
Good or bad.
Probably... Oh, man. Another random category.
We got disconnected.
Oh, shit.
Why
How
did
long
we get
ago?
disconnected? No, literally, we just now got disconnected. Okay.
Just now.
I mean, we're still recording clearly, but voter not started. Stream's connected to
Premium
the server.
content.
Fucking premium content.
Connecting the server. Why are we down? Chris is probably going to call me in a second.
We're getting dust.
Let us go.
You better knock on wood with that Milky.
I highly
Hey,
doubt.
if we are, fuck, there's nothing we can do about it.
Yeah. There's only one way to fix that, and that's you have to change your IP. Because that's the only way to route into your IP.
Yeah.
God damn
But
it.
changing the IP takes a bit of time.
Why is it giving me disconnected messages? I have no idea why it keeps saying we're disconnected. Unless someone booted us from the stream.
We're getting dust.
Oh, there we go. we're back, guys. Sorry, we got DOSed.
King in the background. We're getting DOSed. No, Lizard Squad. Why?
Because I was literally bringing up Facebook, and I literally saw it happen. It went error, disconnected. I was like, oh fuck,
some bitch.
Eric, you had something to input on this.
I had like my kind of like third random category anyway. My most anticipated game, but think of something just now with like some of the other games. My most anticipated, but also my most fearful, is Bloodborne. Because as much as I look forward to it, I really, really hope that it doesn't fuck up like some games have. Like,
I don't think it will.
Dude,
I know.
If we're talking about most anticipated games that better come out in 2015, Division.
Is that what you meant?
Yeah, most anticipated game. Everyone's got a most anticipated game. Division, what would you say for yours?
Either the Division or PlanetSide.
Yeah. Mine's very clearly obvious, Rainbow Six Siege.
If I had to pick a third, like, number one is the Division, because I really am excited about that game.
But I still wouldn't be surprised if it didn't come out in 2015.
Yeah, because they barely just now have the engine done. Two would be PlanetSide, just because I want the fucking game already. I know it's going to be good. That's why I'm so hyped for it. And a third one would probably be
Rainbow Six Siege.
Rainbow Six, yeah, because I am really interested in playing that.
Well, because ironically, it's a Ubisoft game, and I can tell it's... ironically, it only seems like the Tom Clancy division. I don't know if it's Montreal, it's Ubisoft something. But
I hope it's not Montreal.
No, the people that do the Rainbow Six games are like their own section of Ubisoft.
Yeah.
They're the only ones in Ubisoft that have decided, let's just jump straight to next gen. Because think about it, Siege is only coming out on next gen, and Division is only possible on next gen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I really hope they don't fuck that game.
Well, they're saying Siege is only possible next gen too because of the new engine.
The destruction. Well, yeah, I mean, I'll go with what Level Cap said. I'm really fucking thankful they jumped off the last gen
I am too,
bandwagon.
finally. Like, fuck me.
Just because, we're fine. I've never seen this because whenever PS3 came around and Xbox 360, you saw a bunch of games they had to release. Every generation has had to release their new games on next gen because the shit just isn't possible on last gen. This is the only gray area console launch we've ever had where they're like, well, most of what we're doing is still possible on last gen if we cut corners here and here.
Yeah, here and here.
Like, think about it. Resistance 1 never would have been possible on PS2.
No, hell
No.
Oblivion never would have been possible on PS2.
Oh my
Now,
God.
the thing is not to exactly defend the last gen, though, is I guess unlike the PS2 and the Xbox, there is still a little bit of life left in the 360 and the PS3.
No, there is.
No, there's not much.
It still has a thriving community.
Well, but I'm saying there's not much like they can put on there compared to what they can do with the new.
Yeah, because Far Cry 3 lagged like a motherfucker.
Yeah,
on
that's what
360.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
It has
I'm still saying, though,
have
there's still people on it, so of course they're going to do it to make money.
It's going to have a community because,
not everybody can
get the new
afford
console.
one.
But its lifespan is in how much farther they can push it, it's done. So they've already got most games that are pushing it beyond where it's going to be able to go.
Well, I mean, you heard Nick over here the other day when he was playing Far Cry 4. He was like, wow, that is the
next-gen
huge jump. That's a next-gen difference. I'm like, the problem is we should start getting to this point like how Killzone Shadowfall was, where I just look at that and I'm like, that shit is not possible on 360.
Exactly.
Because there's very few games I can look at that do that. Let's see here. We know for a fact that, fucking Killzone can't be done on last gen. As far as we're aware, the shit on GTA 5 nowadays can't be done on last gen.
Yeah, they said they're only going to support it as long as they can.
Ironically, well, no, it came out on PS3 too, but Guilty Gear XR, which is a really weird fucking name, is only available on PlayStation because it's an exclusive, but it's clearly possible on last gen.
Yeah. I feel like
Shadow of Mordor.
But I'm looking across that list, and I'm like, most of these games were done on last gen. Except, ironically, Plants vs. Zombies wasn't on last gen, was it?
No.
Yes.
Well, yeah, it was.
Garden Warfare?
It
was.
Was it?
Yeah.
It came out for everything.
Did UFC come out? I don't think UFC came out for everything.
But
I think it came out on last gen.
I don't think it did.
I thought it did. I don't know.
I can look it up.
I just didn't care because I bought it on PS4.
Yeah. One game up there I saw that's ironically not possible on last gen, but they have a last gen copy, which is way different. NBA 2K14. That game's not possible on last gen, but they have.
Well,
a
it's
kind
of like that difference in remember when the 360 and PS3 first came out, and that one Splinter Cell game came out, and it was on both.
Pandora tomorrow.
Nope, it only came out
Okay,
on
I'll
It only came out on next gen.
It wasn't either of those. It was the one where he was in prison.
Double Agent.
Double Agent.
Yeah.
Double Agent came out on both consoles, but on the new gen at the time, which was 360 and just 360. I don't think it's on PlayStation, is it?
But it was on
It
PlayStation
is,
2.
but PlayStation came out a year later, remember?
Well, either way.
By the way, EA UFC only came out on next gen.
Only? Okay.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like the difference between Double Agent on like Xbox original and then Xbox 360. There was huge difference.
Yeah, how it was just...
There was like levels just completely taken out of the old version.
And then there's also like way back when there was like just Call of Duty 2 for the 360.
Yeah.
And then there's Call of Duty 2 Big Red 1 for
Yeah.
the last gen.
Yeah,
But
I played Big Red 1.
But more or less what I was getting at is there wasn't really... I mean, there was, but there wasn't as much of an online community on PS2 and Xbox
Well, clearly.
as there is now. And that's the only reason why it's still lasting.
Online community for PS2 didn't really exist until the end of PS2's lifespan. Really.
Yeah.
The only online community I knew for the PS2 was for SOCOM, because it was one of the biggest.
Time Splitters Future Perfect had one, and so did Metal Gear Online.
And all Xbox really had was Halo.
Hey, if it weren't for Halo, you would not see as much...
You guys just missed that.
See as much what?
You wouldn't see as much focus
We do.
on the next gen. What?
I'm sorry, what?
No,
I'm sorry.
No.
What in the...
We're not hanging shit from Ronnie's nipples.
Hey, hang me next.
It's his and hers towels.
That's fucked up.
Anyway, you
What
wouldn't
the
if it weren't for Halo, you probably would not see a huge online presence today.
No.
No,
on consoles.
Halo jump-started online multiplayer.
If it weren't for Xbox Live, Sony would probably never have jumped that bandwagon.
Well, there's Halo, SOCOM, Counter-Strike, those are like the three biggest games.
Well, Counter-Strike's always been a PC thing. I'm talking
Doom.
about
I'm talking about in
consoles.
general, though.
I'm talking
Unreal
about
Tournament.
consoles.
Unreal Tournament, SOCOM, Halo. Those are the three starting games that everyone played online.
Well, fuck, Halo 1 was like a big... It didn't even have online on Xbox 3... Or Xbox.
No, it
the
started-
original Xbox.
It had on PC.
It started
Yeah.
with LAN
Yeah.
parties.
Yeah, LAN
LAN
parties.
parties.
And then people were like,
Dude, Halo 2, its last match went on for a month.
Yeah.
Because they said, we
People
won't,
didn't wanna
close
end
the,
it, yeah.
we won't close the server as long as there's a single person playing on there.
It's two people.
But once your match is over, you can't rejoin.
Yeah, so they didn't.
Two guys stayed up in like 4 people stayed up in shifts
Shifts.
playing against each other to keep the servers going.
Yeah.
Until eventually they just had to take them down. It was really, really cool.
Because it's a great game and no one wanted to end.
Yeah, but the problem is though, after that, Microsoft forgot about its PC community. Halo 2 was the last Halo game to come out on PC, and then they were
There were shitty ports of 3.
no,
like ports made by other people.
I was gonna say, Halo 3 never came out.
There were
cracks,
shitty, there
basically.
were cracks, basically. Yeah, very shitty cracks.
Well, Halo 2 on PC got shot in the foot immediately because it was only available if you had Windows Vista. You couldn't play on XP, and everybody at the time hated Vista.
Yeah.
Rightfully so.
Yeah,
Does anybody like Vista even now?
No.
Exactly.
Windows 8.
yeah, I like Windows 8.
I do too. I love it. I don't have it, but I love it.
Windows 7.
We have 7.
I have
I'd say I'd
I have
rather
a
stick with
broken
7.
copy of 7 to where I can't even have a background on my thing because it's not a real legit version.
It's not an actual legal.
You said
version.
you had an actual legal version.
I thought I did. I don't.
You don't?
Ever since I upgraded to 8, I haven't needed a disc.
Yeah.
But
I
when
need-
like I was saying, but with the new gen consoles, we're seeing people make compromises where they're like, "Oh, well, we want to make more money, so we want to release it on both gens." And I'm just like, I understand some people can't afford it, but I really, really would like to see my investment pay off at this point.
Yeah.
Like I said,
It will
if
in the
you're
long
going to
run,
develop
though.
games, develop it first for us, for new gen.
Don't hinder us for buying new.
Yeah.
Hinder them for not buying it. Don't
Yeah.
hinder them badly. Don't make it fucking just
there's plenty
stupid.
of-
But don't hinder us stupidly because we bought this.
Well, I mean, think about it this way: there's very few experiences I had this in the last 2 years since the consoles have been out for a full year now, over a full year. That really made me think, wow, I'm playing next gen. Literally,
True.
My favorite experience still on next gen is Killzone Shadowfall, just because it's
Which
such
is a
beautiful
launch
game.
title.
Which was a launch title.
Last
I wouldn't
year.
say that's my favorite experience, but it's definitely up there.
Well, I mean, what other game?
My favorite experience is the release
Safety.
of Last of Us.
No,
It
I
made me
mean
feel like
something
it's-
that's not possible on last gen.
No,
Last of Us is still possible on last gen. See what I mean?
Yeah.
See what I mean? Where I'm just like,
For me, it might be UFC, because it just looks amazing.
yeah.
It looks like an actual fighting game. It should.
I like it, but still, nothing's going to compare to whenever I first booted up Shadowfall, and I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And
Nice
the
flares.
rays actually start hurting my eyes. I will say something that's really cool, though, is the advantage of the next gen to allow free-to-plays to work.
I love that. I love the free to plays because
Because
free to plays are a big game market now.
Well, they tried it at the end of the life cycle of last gen, but with how shitty the updates are on the last gen and how slow they can be, DCUO on PS3.
Or fucking just how shitty the games are. Like
Warface. Oh my god.
Warface was awful.
And
There's another one that came out. I can't remember the name of it.
Not that bad.
On 360. It was like a little chibi fucking...
Happy
Wars. No, not Happy... yeah, it was Happy Wars.
Yeah, Happy Wars.
That was a fucking stupid-ass game.
It's fun on PC.
I'm sure.
I wouldn't even say
World
that.
of Tanks and
I
360.
enjoy it. It's fun to mess around.
World of
Tanks I didn't get into, so I can't really say much about it.
I didn't get into it, but it was good.
I've heard it's not bad.
But I mean, immediately when we got our PS4s, first thing we could get was Warframe, Black Knight
for the first
Retribution.
week, I didn't play anything but Warframe and Battlefield. Because I bought Battlefield.
Yeah, but now we have...
because at the time, Battlefield 4 was so broken,
and now,
I had nothing to play with Warframe.
I think we've got 2 more free-to-plays. We got Loadout and...
Loadout is fun.
Yeah, and we've got War Thunder. War Thunder's alright.
I need to play War Thunder.
War Thunder's fun. I like it.
I don't like it.
It's simmy.
It's a niche market.
It's simulation.
My crazy uncle, like he doesn't play any video games. He's very untech savvy, but he fucking loves that game. He plays the balls.
Well, you know the idea is once it's kind of in an early access form, of course, right now. The idea is eventually to have all 3 fronts fighting at once. You're supposed to have planes in the air, tanks on the ground, and battleships out at sea.
I love tanks, so I'd be on the ground battling the bolts type shit.
I'd be rocking that shit.
I'd have to be
a tank.
I'd have to be on a fucking battleship.
I'd be a tank or a fire plane.
There's one game. It's on PC. I can't really think. It's kind of like PlanetSide, except it's in WW2.
Oh no! I know.
Heroes and Generals.
Heroes and Generals.
No, because that's not the same amount of people.
It's the only game like it though. It's an MMO.
Red Orchestra?
No,
it's not Red Orchestra.
There's one that's like it's a big ass open world.
Oh, World War II Online.
Is that what it is? It's really shitty.
It's really shitty. It's World War II Online.
But it's the closest thing I can think of.
Yeah,
to
World War
like...
II Online. I know what you're talking
Oh
about.
my god! Oh my god!
What is
That's Elder Scrolls Online. Wow, the negative reviews.
Jesus.
Just constant flowing of the negativeness. What's that one game you guys were telling me about?
Verdun.
Oh, Verdun.
Is it on Steam?
Yes.
How you spell it?
Verdun.
Yeah. It's a Battle of Verdun. It's World War I.
It's the Battle of Verdun, all the trench warfare. It's a very good looking game too. It's beautiful as hell. And Frank has been playing it, and it looks really fun. Like,
yeah, you can launch gas attacks, and you actually have to put on the mask
and shit.
And it fucks up your vision.
Yeah,
everybody's recommending it.
It does. It is fun. I'm not lying. Like I've seen it play.
It's like not super realistic. Like there's no bullet drop.
You bleed out and stuff though.
There's like no bullet drop or anything like that. But like it's mainly bolt action, so it's like mainly one hit kills. If you hit someone in the chest or the head.
Is it multiplayer?
Yeah, that's what it is.
That's all multiplayer. I thought it was like
all
multiplayer.
And the way the matches work is actual trenches. Well, the way the actual like matches work is actual trenches. Like you start off,
push forward. And
then like every now and then randomly you'll hear a whistle go off, which means over the top. You have to go over the top and charge.
Oh god, that'd be fucking horrible. You die instantly.
Sometimes.
You run into a machine gun.
It's very fun.
We gotta get to Eric's stuff. We've been skirting around Eric's.
User reviews mixed. Alright, Eric.
Alright. Well, considering I don't have a next gen game, I'm gonna go.
But you've been over here enough.
Well, I've been over here enough. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over the most surprising in good and bad. So to start off, most surprising in good, Bayonetta. Because I'll be the first one to admit, as soon as I enjoyed the last gen Bayonetta. I enjoyed Bayonetta 1. As soon as I saw Bayonetta 2, I'm like, okay, it's Nintendo funded. This is gonna be a hack job. And then I was surprised because it actually turned out apparently really good.
She's still just as sexy as ever.
I didn't say she wasn't sexy. Although I do like the newer bodysuit. I like that better in comparison to the last one.
Oh my!
I like that in comparison to the last one. So, and then I can't say just little things like just the small things like all of the delays we've had just surprised me. I would have figured it in comparison to last gen. Where it started off a little slow, but they had great games coming out, and then they went through a little lull. They went through spurts. Well, now it's just.
I think it's happening this time just because the leap in technology is. I mean, it's not as big as back then, but it's also the fact that like people are trying.
Kind of games are being
it's the kind of games that are being made. They're so big. They're trying to make games so outstanding that they're thinking they can do all this when really they can't.
So, but that was. Most of the good guys. I'm sorry, I'm becoming more of a retro gamer, and that's just the way it is because I don't have the money right now. But the most surprising bad. And some of this, I know you all are going to stare at me and go, why did you not see that coming? One of them in particular was Assassin's Creed Unity. Because we were all hyped for it. We're like, okay, this is
because we all love Assassin's Creed.
Yeah. You could say some of us even have, tattoos to say how much we love Assassin's Creed.
And then I have a hoodie.
And it was I was looking forward to it. Like, this is gonna be new. They've taken the great things about Assassin's Creed and they've added on to it to make it better.
Mm-hmm.
And instead, they basically shat a tote and sent it down the line.
Totes. I'm sick of that word.
Fuck off.
Okay. Let me put this in better terms. They shat in a brownie bowl and said, "Here, have a chocolate brownie."
Ew.
Ironically, the only 2 last gen games I've bought this year are not even that I've bought that we've gotten is we bought Dark Souls 2, which was the last. Well, Dark Souls 2. I got Titanfall on 360, and then Chris got us Kingdom Hearts 2.5.
Did Payday 2 come out in 2013?
Yeah. No.
Yes.
For consoles?
Yes.
Yeah, not 2014, 2013.
Okay.
You want to know a game? It's a game.
'Cause I think
it's
that
an
was the
honorable mention
last-
for great 2015s.
What?
I think I'm pretty sure it came out this year.
What?
D&D 5th.
Oh yeah, D&D 5th edition.
Yeah.
That's what we're trying to say, kids. Stop playing video games. Go pick up a fucking book.
Yeah.
Well, if PSN's down.
I will say this much:
D&D 5th.
Safety.
D&D 5th edition is probably, if I had to say game of the year, I'm sorry, that's game of the year. No,
Yeah?
and let me explain
It's
why.
the only game we've played consistently that we love.
let me explain why. In comparison to 4 and 3.5, it takes the best things of 3.5, the okay things about 4, and it streamlines them in a way that is very, very cohesive.
We haven't picked up a map once, dude.
We haven't
No,
had to.
we haven't had to, and the combat has been
missed the
great.
map, honestly.
Minus people who try to kill us.
I make the game fair where you have a chance to die, so it's not just running. I win everything. Game.
That's fine and dandy, but
I don't know. I'm kind of brutal in my campaigns. Dude.
Yeah, it's more fun that way. 'cause it's
you
not
at least
fun if
you
you're
at least
going
put a
no
way
threat.
out. You always put that way out.
I put a
from
way
what I
out
noticed.
too.
Not against the zombie ogres.
Which you thought were orcs.
Yeah, there was a way out. You fight or you
Felicia
run.
has PTSD over here. Good job.
Yeah,
So
her and Taylor with that.
I mean, I can say this much:
Actually, not
I'm used to playing like mid-level, like starting at level 10 in 3.5. But the most epic moments I've had more epic moments at lower level than I did at mid-level.
Because it's more threatening.
Yeah,
It's more.
Yeah.
Well, it's just so.
You're also
like,
a little more humble at first level, for sure.
Yeah.
well, like
I
I'm sorry,
started off
my
at
most epic.
11 hit points.
I can honestly say the most epic thing that's ever happened now in D&D, number 2 slot. Because number 1's always going to be dropping the rhino on that bad guy in 3.5. Number 2 has got to be killing Raven.
Lord Raven. They're almost killing him.
Yeah. In that final just perfect slash that was pure luck.
Yeah. It's stuff like that 5th edition really kind of allows for.
And honestly, this is the first time, I don't know what it is about 5.0, but 3.5, my character was already in my head. He was already there. He was already all planned out.
I think it's because they have the background charts to kind of.
Well, it's how can I put it? 3.5, everything was planned.
Well, and here's why I say that, because look at Milky's character's evolution. To a degree, Sully hasn't really changed that much,
Yeah.
other than he was a bard. Now he's more of a cleric bard because we don't have a clerik, so he heals everyone.
Well, what I mean is, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to interrupt.
No, I understand what you're saying. It's changing.
They take on characters of their own. 3.5, my character never changed. He never took on anything other than what I planned for him. 5.0, what I started with my character Erdo, is not where he's at now.
Yeah, I know, because you actually put a hyphen and you put Simon Belmont.
Well, because it started out as he was just a fuck up, and now I've got an entirely different backstory because of the way he plays.
Yeah.
My backstory is the same, but like my characters.
You now have a burnt eye.
Well, yeah.
Not even that. I'm talking like just in the way that I do things and my weapons.
Well, I was actually
because like I turned in. I went from just like a regular. I'm trying to be an assassin to like now I'm the gadget assassin because I have a fucking musket pistol and a sword that extends.
Well, not only that. What I remember was that. We started you off as a rogue because you had never played rogue before. You'd always.
Well, I always built into assassin. I always wanted to build into assassin.
Well, that's the thing is you always played ranger. So what happened was Milky's character started off as I'm gonna sneak up behind you and stab you in the back kind of guy, and then he realized he didn't really like getting close to people because he was getting bitch smacked so much. Mm-hmm. So he turned into a dagger throwing one, and then eventually he turned into like the gadget ranger where he got the musket pistol, and it was like. The evolution of character is only because...
And I want to continue that. I want to get more gadgets. I want to be the bomb guy, too.
Well, I think it's because 5th edition really allows for... And I know this sounds really stupid, more role-playing. Because in 4th edition, it's all about the combat. It's all
4th was less of an RPG, more of like a strategy combat game.
It was more of like a Warhammer style.
Yeah.
Because it was all about positioning.
You know what we need to play more, though? Shadowrun. I like Shadowrun.
Shadowrun's rules are too damn
They're convoluted.
I still like it.
I don't like it. It's not that I don't like it. It's just it's very complex and convoluted.
I just like 5th better.
Well, the big thing is that in 4th edition, here's the reason people didn't like 4th edition. Every fucking class felt the same. Every class has an at-will.
Even the rogue was tanky.
Every class has an at-will. Every class has a shit ton of health. Every class will get arranged. But in 5th edition, there are clear builds. There are clear reasons that you should pick a warrior. A warrior, at this point, he has options, but he's not going to be casting magic without sacrificing something. Mm-hmm. If you want to be a ranged warrior, you pick up a fucking spear.
Yeah. And it's very obvious, because that's one thing I can say, even with 3.5, when I was a ranger in 3.5, I was still tanky.
Yeah.
And now being...
Well, 3.5, after you get level 10, people call it the Super Saiyan Syndrome.
Yeah.
Because after level 10, you were just like warping around the battlefield, cutting orcs' heads off. And another thing about 5th that I think really lends itself well to role-playing, the weapons all feel different. Because they all have little stats, like thrown or versatile.
Finesse.
Or
light, which means two-handed.
Yeah, two-handed. It's
but there's a reason they're two-handed, because they only do like 1d6 damage each.
Also, the ability to finally have a long sword wielded in 2 hands. So if you want to...
You can bastard sword it.
Yeah, for example, like Sully used to have a scimitar that he swung for 1d8, and I was like, well, I don't see Sully as a guy that uses one-handed swords because he's weak. He's not really weak. He has a strength of 14, but he's not the best fighter.
He's not a combatant.
Yeah, so I would imagine him wielding a longsword with 2 hands. So in 5th edition, they said, well, if you wield it, I think it's called versatile, where it can do a D8 if you're one-handing it, or a D10 if you're two-handing it.
And with me being the soldier tank, I've got that great sword on my back, and y'all love me for the fact that I turned around and after Mike's campaign, it was a silver great sword.
Yeah,
because against Lord Raven.
I actually had an idea,
Chunk.
by the way, for like undead or magic creatures. Take some of my silver and melt it down into musket balls.
Yeah, you can do it. It costs...
I would say like 5 to 10.
It costs the weight in silver, I think.
Oh, really? That's probably not much.
So
it still costs you some money, but
I expected that.
Talking about it's the game is molding my character instead of me molding the character myself, which I love because it's kind of like my character's taking on a life of his own. He's turning around and coming into things, and it's kind of writing itself.
Like I said, it's a good role playing situation.
So and even in the weird,
I think it's because you're not. Excuse me. In 4th edition, it's all about what fucking rules am I using, what rules go here, what's the rule for this. In 5th edition, they've simplified it so much that instead of focusing on the rules, you're focusing on, well, what the fuck would Erdo do, or what would Sully do in this situation, instead of what rule do I have to use to do this. It's a lot simpler.
I mean, it's even the small things, like when we rolled for my class and my background, and I got a random cameo of an ugly chick. Literally, it says cameo of ugly chick.
Yeah.
Or you ended up being the cook or whatever.
Yeah. Well, I was a blacksmith, but
you're like utility character.
Yeah, but even that shit has kind of come into its own now. It's like that actually has meaning.
And then mine actually has meaning because my crime contact, because I rolled criminal. And then I'm a rogue.
And Sully gets to act more like a bard because he's an entertainer, so he can actually make gold doing what he does.
Yeah.
And then one of my favorite characters that I just made, Alexander, I don't use him much because we really need healers, but he is by far one of my favorite characters that I've ever crafted. Just because of the background thing.
I might play my cleric some
more. Goodbye, Ronnie. Ronnie's leaving. We've only got like 7 minutes. But
I made my cleric on here, so I might actually play my cleric more. Yeah, on the little app. That's also what I love about 5th, is we have that app now. It makes it easier.
Yeah, they made the apps for those. But those also have 3.5, 4.0 apps. Yeah. But what I'm getting at here is with... God damn it. I totally forgot what was it. Oh, in the background. For example, with Alexander, he's an entertainer like Sully, but he's a different kind. There's a sub
He's a gladiator.
He's a gladiator. Now, instead of mid-maxing him, which I could have done... I was like, because I could have made him an Outlander or something and given him some more bonuses to that, but I was like, I kind of want to make a gladiator. So I did that, and I felt like it was more me wanting to roleplay than it was me wanting to cheat the system. Like in 4th edition, it's all about numbers.
Well, it also gives you the opportunity to make your girlfriend flush because you're doing Cajun accent.
Yeah.
What's the thing with like the rogue? My rogue is my most fleshed out character I've ever had.
I can say that much.
And I've never even... I haven't played him in the amount of time that I've played, say...
Jedediah?
Jed, which is my ranger.
Yeah.
But
I think it was because we never really wanted to evolve our characters. We never wanted to level up in 4th edition just because it got so combat heavy and so boring because there was never a threat of death.
Yeah.
I mean, you could take on fucking Lich at almost level 1.
Yeah.
On 4th edition, and that's just ridiculous. You can start off with full plate in 4th edition.
And I'm sitting here telling you all guys not to kill the guy on plate mail in a way that damages it.
But like I said, I think it opens up a lot more roleplay. If I had to suggest you guys buy anything this year, buy, and it's on sale. Every book is only $30 each, as compared to $50. You really only need the Player's Handbook to get started if you know somebody that's running games. If not, the 2 necessary books are the Player's Handbook and not the Dungeon Master's Guide, but the Monster Manual.
Yeah.
Because the DM's Guide's all fluff. I love it to death, but it's all
Well, it also added my musket pistols. So.
That's the one thing that I can say is adding in musket pistols now. There's a lot of times there's a lot of times where at least in 3.5 we added in things in certain ways.
This may be the first time I think I've ever seen musket pistols and muskets in general have printed rules.
Yeah, I mean we added in a lot of things. Like one of the things
they were in Pathfinder, but Pathfinder was like a mix of D&D and
and it was 3.5.
It was the good shit of 4 and the good shit of 3.5.
So. But
that's what Pathfinder is.
I mean, in 3.5, we added in a lot of things just for shits and giggles and things like that, like individually rolled pipe sticks, individually bottled mead, that kind of thing. You got the gist. And we'd actually add things in for them. But this is the first time where you've taken something and gotten it in.
Also, like how they've simplified your needs in a way.
Yes, you have to have
just certain amount of pounds of food and water a day and all that.
So,
yeah, like I said, it really is more of a role playing. I think it's because we don't need the map. In 4th edition, if you're not playing with a mat or miniatures or anything, you're fucked. Because you need to know where everyone's out on the battlefield or else the game won't work.
Which I think was the spirit of 1. 1, you could have I think 1 was designed so if you wanted a map...
No, to me, that was AD&D 2.0. AD&D 2.0 you did not need a mat for.
No, not at all.
No, not at all.
Mostly because your characters died so quickly that, you needed more paper than you needed mats. But... what I'm trying to get out of all this is 5th edition is really the second coming of D&D. It's one of the only D&Ds where people unanimously agree that it's good.
Mm-hmm. Even also, the hardcore 3.5
fuck
guys.
you, Spoonie, because he was bitching because whenever a character's hit points reach 0, they should be dead.
No, they shouldn't.
It's because he's an AD&D fan.
He's old school hardcore get good fag kind of guy. Yeah, I know.
And people don't really want to admit that AD&D is flawed. It is.
It is because it's nostalgic.
You ever try to play a bard in AD&D?
No.
Pointless.
Yeah,
the bard's useless.
Really?
Yeah, the bard. Most of the classes in AD&D are useless. They're good roleplay wise, but they're useless.
Yeah,
because I think it's because some people don't care about playing really shitty characters, or some people who played AD&D just never had to worry about playing as a shitty character.
Yeah.
The whole idea of the new D&D is that everybody should, I wouldn't say be equal, but everybody should have their moment to shine. You don't come here and play D&D to feel like shit.
Yeah.
You don't want to be a loser.
You come in and laugh with your friends. And
exactly. You don't want to be a loser.
I'll tell you, because I can say, making Erdo, originally I was like, I'm just going to be the guy in the back who might get a lucky shot off. Milky and Gary and Felicia and Taylor are going to be the ones that are out shining. And that's the way that I designed Erdo originally.
And you were the one that hit the last blow on Lord Raven.
And I turned out to be something completely different. I turned out to be the guy.
The utility character.
Yeah.
I've turned into the guy that's out in the front, like, come on, bitches, let's go.
I've kind of turned into our Darish rogue. I'm kind of the guy that gets us in and out of trouble constantly.
When you're not being controlled by a vampire lord.
To just put it in perspective, last night, I started a slave revolt.
Yeah, pretty much.
All because I picked some big dude's lock.
Yeah,
on his wrist shackles.
I think we're all starting to fill a role, and that's the cool part. Is in 4th edition, it was all about kind of like MMO wise, like fill the role because we need it. I think it was some things like that are really cool, like the fact that Sully's more of a cleric than he is a wizard because he wants to protect his friends.
I feel bad that I can't actually play D&D with you guys.
It sucks because you got work on Friday.
So
poor bastard.
Yeah.
And I agree with that. It's kind of nice that I don't think anybody intended to fill those roles. We just fell into them.
Yeah, and you didn't feel bad about it because the game wasn't forcing you.
It felt right. Like, it felt right that I fell into the tank.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Wow, is Pocky not going on tonight?
Are we going on for extra time?
I mean, we can.
Ugh.
Hold on, let me make a call real quick.
We can have a night where we play D&D on it.
We'll put Mally on air.
Oh god.
That's some reverb right there. You were just texting me, you fuck, answer.
Mally.
Is he getting risky with whiskey?
He might be.
Probably.
It's the end of the year.
Yeah.
That's what I should be doing.
Oh shit! That's a fucking... I had no idea that was a party call. What's up, Mally? You're live.
Oh, you're still going?
We were still... I didn't know if... Is Pocky going on tonight?
Yeah.
Okay, I was just double checking on that.
Yeah, they go on, yeah. I know it's been a while, but yeah.
Alright, well, I was just double checking on that. I'll wrap up the show.
Love you, okay.
Alright, see you guys.
Love you.
Love you. Butt sex. Butt sex. Alright.
Sex.
Alright, well, it's been a fun night, guys. We're going to go ahead and close it up. From everybody at the Gary's Vault, we hope you had a good year. And I would feel bad. Matt, give us the last word.
Praise the sun!
Fucking A.